Yes. StreamYard says, Mr. Abundance, you're live, and you're actually responding to texts that are coming in. And so I want to thank the global community of Tiashans from around the world. This is Mr. Abundance coming to you on the 28th of June 2020. I would just like to acknowledge those who are already here and those who will come today. Now, what did I say today's subject was? We're talking about TACC, yes. And what should I do for today's personal development? Um, Sometimes, um, well, during this week, I made reference to quite a few topics. But what I will say today is that life is a fight for territory. And if we fail to fight for what we do not want will take over. We saw a report that I read last week from CNN Business News that during the worst crisis that the world has ever seen, the 1% in the United States were able to amass wealth of over 565 billion, while you could not put food on your table, pay your bills, move around, while you were strapped in your house. We had a 1%. And so, what is it that are we fighting for? Because if life is a fight for territory, what is it that we're fighting for? And if we fail to fight for it, what will be the consequences? And you actually need to individualize that statement. What it is that I am fighting for. Is it to send my children to universities without headache? Is it to even meet their basic needs, your basic need, your children's basic needs? Is it your territory on a day-to-day basis that you're fighting for? Is it to build that dream home, to buy that dream car, to begin that business? Is it to be able to travel the world, to get married, to start my business, to give back to my community, to be the lender and not the borrower? What is it am I fighting for? And if I failed on the backdrop of that, what it is that I will have to deal with? Because if you fail to fight for what you want, what you do not want will take over. So, what it is that you do not want? That is a question that you need to ask yourself. What is it that you do not want? That if you fail to fight for what you want, what you do not want will take over. Certainly, I don't want to be any beggar. Certainly, I don't want to have children that are sick and cannot get medical attention. I mean, do we want to still have malaria taking out so many of our children? Because if we fail in TACC to fight for what we want, what we do not want will actually take over. So what are the things that we do not want? Then we need to fight for what we want, because that is what it is. And so that is my welcome and devotion, personal development, as I go straight into what is TACC. And of course, we know that TACC is the Abundance Community Coin. TACC is a digital currency which is powered by blockchain technology. And so digital currency and blockchain are two things distinct that work together. I mean, blockchains can be used for so many other things today. And that is why the elites, you will hear them talking about blockchain most of the times, because blockchain now can be used as a more security. They will tell you that it is probably the best invention or technology that has ever been invented when it comes to anything other than cryptocurrency. They will tell you, because they want to fool us again. And so the Abundance Community Coin is a digital currency that we are now certifying to become money. As it is now, it is a coin. It is a coin that gave birth that initiated on the 4th of November of last year. It actually gave birth on the 30th of March when we went public with our first round, where the coins were at 25 cents. That ended in June of this year, where the coin now moves to 50 cents. In September, the third round, the coins goes to 75 cents. We are working feverishly in this second round to raise the 2.5 to certify the coin on a global scale that you will be able to use and to trade. So that is what we're doing. This is where the billionaires are made, in coins like the Abundance Community Coin, now that it is in its infancy. And don't take my word for it. We have examples of persons who invested in Bitcoin and they are multi-millionaires today. So we are not reinventing the wheel. We know what cryptocurrency can do. There is no other methodology where business is concerned that can make poor people. A matter of fact, all the financial analysts, all of them, they have disagreed on many things, but all of them all agreed on this one thing, that this period is the time when you need to get your families and friends involved in cryptocurrency. And so the Abundance Community Coin is on its way to be certified. We're already registered and incorporated, so we don't have that to worry about. We're now certifying the coins so it can be used with all the other coins on CoinMarketCap, where you'll be able to change it and to use it for utility. You'll be able to use it for TACC hospitals, airlines, cruise lines. I mean, TACC is going to be a bank. We are positioned ourselves to be the global bank. And because of our structure, it is more than possible. But we have to catch the vision so that we can live the dream. That is our vision. to be the alternate financial solution. And how do you become the alternate financial solution? You must be a global bank. I said countries shall look to us for money. And so some of you who may have never had or seen what 1,000 US look like in your bank account, or 5,000 US or 10,000 US, you have never seen what that looks like. You have an opportunity now to change that curse. There's no scarcity in the world. And so I just want to go through this very quickly, because sometimes, because of how we are and were being conditioned, a conditioned mindset is the greatest barrier to our success. And the irony of all this is that we want to change the existent reality with what we know and what we have been doing for years. I don't know. This is madness. I mean, Einstein called it lunacy. Lunacy. You want to use the existent reality, what we have now, fiat money, a global financial system that created a 1% that rules the 99%. And you are saying to Mr. Abundance that you need to see the familiar on this flight. You need to see the familiar in the foundation. Well, may I say to you, if you see the familiar, it means that the result is already happened somewhere else. And so, if it happened somewhere else, it did not make the change that was required. So do not look for the familiar in TACC. TACC is going uphill. We look at what is the blue economy, Mr. Abundant? The Internet of Things, robotics, artificial intelligence, blockchain technology, cryptocurrency. We're talking about the blue economy, that which will create trillionaires. I told you already that in the 70s and the 80s, we got our millionaires from the pop and mom shop. In the 90s and the 20th century, we got our billionaires from tech and oil. Our trillionaires in the 21st century and beyond will come from tech and cryptocurrency. So make up your mind which side of it you want. And I just did some history here. In the first century, what we had the steam engine, the locomotive, telegraph, communication, photograph, typewriters. Now, these are some of the things that we got in our first industrial revolution. In our second, we saw the use of electrical machinery that powered mass production. We also saw in the third revolution electronics, information technology, automated technology, and also the Internet of Things, computers. But the fourth industrial revolution is that one that the elites have less control over. And I am going to say something here that was impressed upon me today. We don't really have much time, because the fourth industrial revolution especially cryptocurrency powered by blockchain, because blockchain is intended to create a decentralized system. A decentralized system that is not controlled by the elites nor any government. And that is why they were fighting cryptocurrency, because it did not come from the usual place, the governments or the banks or from Silicon Valley. It didn't come from those places. And because it didn't come from those places, they were fighting it. If you studied cryptocurrency, cryptocurrency gave birth to replace the financial institutions of the world. That is why they hate cryptocurrency with a passion. But they did all what they could have done to kill cryptocurrency, but they cannot. And so you need to understand that it is the only period that you can make money. You can create your own money. And what impresses me this morning is that if you notice that they're now coming in the space, they are now regulating the space. The governments around the world are now regulating the space. I want you to have your eyes opened and don't be fooled by their regulatory framework that they're putting in place. It can also be a trap. It can also be a trap, especially for coins like the abundance coin that has not yet certified. And that is what I am seeing, that we need to get out of this lane as soon as possible, because the regulations that are coming is going to be very difficult for any independent person to create money, just like what we're now doing. It will be almost impossible, because the elites, they must control it. JP Morgan Chase that are entering with exchange platforms, the biggest platforms in the world, they are now talking about offering services on those platforms. What is going to happen is that the banks will choose who create cryptocurrency and whose cryptocurrency exchange they will accept, and the coins that they will accept. You see how delicate a spot we are. And that is why we cannot play, because they're not playing with us. You have an opportunity now to create money. It's the only time and period in our life that we can create money that is accepted on a global scale. I want you to understand that digital currency is like the fiat foreign currency as it is today. For example, the US dollar is the global currency, foreign currency. And so if you are in the Bahamas, or if you're in Jamaica, if you're in England, France, Germany, Switzerland, Nigeria, Cameroon, Kenya, no matter where you are, you can change your local currency and you can buy US currency. It's no different with digital currency. All governments are going digital soon, but their digital currency is different than private public currency. You need to understand the difference. Our currency in my country, the Eastern Caribbean currency, when it becomes digitalized, it will have the same value against the US dollar. 2.65 or 2.6 or 2.5, just thereabout. That's the value it will carry. It will not have a greater value than that which it has in paper form. But when you have the abundance digital coin in your wallet that some of you have bought for 2 cents and less, some of you got it for 11 cents, some got it for 10 cents, for 25 cents, and some are now buying it for 50 cents. Do you see what is happening? And so the difference between the government coin and the abundance coin is that the coin that you see today at 50 cents has the potential to go to 100,000 for one coin. That is what you have, and that is the difference. The coins in your country digital coins will always remain at the value it is, and probably even devalued against the US and the European currency. I just want you to understand. But TACC currency coin has the potential to move from today 50 cents to 100,000 in a couple of years. I'm talking about for one coin. There is no limit to what we can move this currency to if we become meaningful. You have to understand the industry that you're in. For heaven's sake, go and make yourself a person of value. Study the industry that you're in. It's amazing that a 12-year-old heard about a coin 8 years ago with no technical sense, with no degrees. He saw that this is not familiar. I said, if you're looking for the familiar part, know that you will not receive anything more than those that have gone before you. That's what Jack Ma says, you know. Jack Ma says that if 1,000 persons is ahead of you doing the same thing as you're doing behind, it will greatly limit your ability to have success. That's what he says. You now have an opportunity. Now you are at the front of the class with TACC. And so, is cryptocurrency the mark of the beast? And some of you need to go and look at Revelation, read your Bible. I think I even put it there, Revelation 13. And so, let me let me go into because we have to answer the question now, because there are a lot of people who are talking and they are talking nothing. They are just hot balloon, hot air. They don't know what they're saying. They don't know what to look for. And so the very thing that they're protecting is the very thing that will hang them. And so let me share my screen a little bit as and by the way, Mr. Abundance is going to be very delicate with this one, because I can say to you, not too many people can unravel Daniel and Revelation as Mr. Abundance. And I challenge any pastor, when it comes to Daniel and Revelation. And so I will be very different, because you know why? TACC is going uphill, and like Buckminster Fuller that says, do not fight. Do not try to change the existent reality by fighting it. But if you want to change something, he says, create a new model. And so, because this verse 13 points to a system, a religious system that will get its backing from legislators. That is where the mark of the beast will come to play, based on the script. But I don't need, one thing I will name for you. I will name the country in verse 11. And some of you might, I'm going to send you back into your Bible. When I leave TACC, I will take up Revelation. By that time, TACC will be what? Maybe 1 million for one TACC. By that time, no one will be able to touch us. But for now, I have to, take it easy, because we know who is out there in the audience. And so you have here, and I stood upon the sand of the sea, and I saw a beast rise out of the sea. Now, when the Bible, when prophecy, now this is prophecy, speaks about a beast, what is a beast? A beast is a kingdom. And whenever you see sea in prophecy, sea represents people. And so this beast is now coming up where people lives. All right? Now, let's go down to verse 3. And he says, and they worshiped the dragon, which gave power to the beast. They worshiped the dragon that gave power to the beast. And they worshiped the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war with him? And so the conundrum here, you have a beast which is a system, and the dragon is now giving power to the system. As we go down, it says in 11, and I beheld another beast coming out of the earth. And so in prophecy, whenever you see a beast or a kingdom coming from the earth, it means that they're basically no people. It is like you're creating your own kingdom. It's not a saturated land mass. It is a virgin territory. It is something new. But from the sea is nothing new. And so it says here in 11, and I beheld another beast coming out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb. And he spake as a dragon. Now, this I will reveal to you now. Number 1, she rises from the earth. We're talking about the United States of America in prophecy here in verse 11. And she has 2 horns. Those horns represents religion and freedom of expression. That is why America is so prosperous today, because she recognized freedom and she also recognized religion. But it didn't stay there. And he had 2 horns like a lamb, lamb-like beasts. That is why America, you hear, America speaks like, she is so nice. She's the world police. She's the world caregiver. That is how she presents herself. The lamb-like beast, taking care of everybody. But the verse continues to say, and he speaks like a dragon. And he exercised all power of the first before him, and caused the earth and them that dwell to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. Now, you need to know which system almost went out of business in the 13th century. Now, I'm not going to get into that. You need to do your homework. That was the deadly wound. But scripture tells you that that deadly wound was healed. And that dragon, the dragon will exercise power and authority given to the beast, that if you do not do what the beast says, in verse 13 and 14, he says, and he doth great wonders that maketh fire come down. And 14 says, and he deceiveth them that dwell upon the earth by the means of their miracles, and which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image, the beast, which had the wound by the sword and did live. And verse 16 says, and he causeth all, both small, great, and rich and poor, free and bond, to receive the mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Now, if you notice, verse 15 says, and this is a very crucial text, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast. Life unto the image of the beast, that is a system. The dragon give life to a system that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast that should be killed. So you're talking about a global legislative system that will give power to the beast, give power to the image of the beast. And if you don't do what the image says, or if you fail to worship the image, the system, it's not Nebuchadnezzar's image here now. A lot of you think it is Mary on the cross or the apostles on the cross. No, that's not the image here. This is a spiritual system now. This is not the golden image of Nebuchadnezzar. No. This is a spiritual system that state your politicians will make laws that you must do. If you don't, you will not survive. And because you will do, you will receive the mark. That's what script is saying. Both rich and poor, free and bond. Does that sound like cryptocurrency to you? I'm asking you the question. Huh? Let me stop here. As a private owner of a business, of a currency, can any private organization make laws And don't forget, that this thing is all about worship. It will boil down to worship. It will boil down to worship. And the whole argument will be economical for the economy. For the economy. That is why cryptocurrency is so critical. That is why a decentralized system from the authorities is so critical. Because today your government says you cannot travel because you are a threat to the public safety. Where are you going? And they say, by the way, for you to travel, you have to be injected. What are you going to do? For you to go back out to work, they will say, we have to inject you and certify that you are no threat to the workforce. Does that sound like a private person commanding you to be vaccinated? Your vaccine will come from the people that you elected. They are your biggest enemy. Elected officials, those who make the laws, and religion, those are the two that will seal your fate. Religious power and legal power. That is what you should look out for, not cryptocurrency. So think again. Think again. And so I will not go any deeper into that. Let me stay there. All right, so let me go now to the questions we have. We are a little time. From Lesotho, good evening, my leader, and all the Tiashans in the house. TACC is indeed going uphill. Thank you very much, my leader over there. Good evening, fellow Tiashan. Yes, good evening, Jack. UK. UK is in the house. Good evening, Mr. Abundance and the entire community. Nigeria is in the house. Global Ambassador. Good evening, sir, Mr. Abundance and all Tiashans. Cyril. Where are you from, sir? Good evening, Miss. Oh, yes, Nigeria. Yes. Yes, we know that, Ambassador. Johnny, the bank. Greetings in the house. TACC is not going where the path may lead. We're going where there is no path. Leaving a trail. I heard that before. I heard that one before. I want to thank you very much. Good evening, Mr. Abundance and the global community from Ghana. Yes, good evening, sir. Mark Robert. Good evening, good afternoon, Mr. Abundance and all the Tiashan, that Madam Cynthia from the Bahamas. Fred Rampton, good evening, all our TACC family across the world from the UK. The UK is represented. I wonder where is Prosperous Prince. From Nigeria, please, Mr. Abundance, want to know if the 40,000 TACC giveaway is completely out of the way. That is now completely out of the way. It was given 10 days challenge and nobody took up Mr. Abundance challenge. Opportunities past in life seldom repeat themselves. Just like what we're doing today, I said history will record that we started TACC from an idea and a challenge to Mr. Abundance to create your own coin. An idea that Mr. Abundance was not seeking after nor looking for, but he was prepared for the opportunity. And as a good leader, he began to put the stakes in the ground for it to become a reality. Today, we can say we have created the coin. In a few weeks, we will be testing our television and radio in a few weeks. In this week, I should be getting words from a crypto bank that will allow us to have access to the debit card. I have not been saying much. If you notice, I have not been saying much about that. But I am expecting this week, I have already filed the application for TACC to be connected to a crypto bank that will allow you to use their debit card to buy cryptocurrency and vice versa, to reverse cryptocurrency back into US dollars. And so while we are there, the next step is going to be to convert TACC back into US dollars. And that is why I am saying to the House, a lot of you are here. You do not know what you're in. You don't know what you're in. You're just spinning around, wandering after everything. And eventually you will wander after nothing. This is not a fly-by-night operation. I am saying to you that the foundation has been laid. And TACC will do, I said TACC will do what no other institution in history would have accomplished. I said TACC will be the largest employer in the world. Mark my words. I said we will transform countries and cities like no other. Welcome aboard. Hello to you all, my brothers and sisters. TACC is ours to make a difference in the world today. And not only today, but in the future. Good, and that, by the way, that's one of my directors there out of the Bahamas. Also, he's the head of operations in the Bahamas. Good evening, Mr. Abundance. My boss, TACC is going uphill. Stefan from Ghana. Thank you very much, Ghana. As you greet the House, endeavor to indicate your country. That's right. Ambassador, you're leading the pack. Good afternoon, Mr. Abundance. Ukresh O'Brien. Good evening, Mr. Abundance and all the Tiashans in the house. We are going uphill. Thank you very much, Festus. Good evening, Tiashans. We are going uphill. Namibia is the house. Namibia is in the house to Chase Silly. Thank you very much, my dear sister. Antigua now is in the house. Good day, House of Tiashans. We are going uphill. Blessings to the house and our esteemed leader. Thank you very much, Mr. Carr. That's one of our meaningful specific in the Caribbean. Diana McDonald. Hi, everyone. That's right. Antigua is in the house. That's, by the way, Diana, she joined us recently, but she's making wave. She is our senior national executive coordinator for Antigua and Barbuda. Bonsoir. I know little French, no? Mr. Abundance in Utris Tres Messi Batu. Mr. Abundance. What does that mean? I think I understand, but I will not repeat it again. Good evening, sir. Hello. Greetings, Tiashans and Mr. Abundance. Greetings. Simia Iko. That's Nigeria now. Good evening, sir, in the global community of TACC. The events around the world now is calling for a more focused approach to personal development, and TACC has presented us with a unique opportunity. I want to say thank you very much for understanding the times that we're in, because not too many people can discern the times and understand the wind. Good evening, Mr. Abundance, all the Tiashans in the house. TACC is the ladder to a financial freedom, life, and Freedom Life and Lagos, Nigeria is good to go. Lagos, Nigeria is good to go. You know, I want the house of Tiashans to understand something, and I will never fail to play Eric Finman. And so just bear with Mr. Abundance a minute, because this here is a teenager that at the age of 12 had enough common sense. He cannot boast that he had any intelligence, because his teacher told him that he must actually drop out of school so he can spin burger. Go to McDonald's, she said. But today you have a millionaire, one of the youngest millionaires in Bitcoin, that is now going around the world advising PhDs and economists. This is the conundrum of the fourth industrial revolution. I can say to you, the more educated you are, is the more likely for you to retire broke and begging your bread. I said the more intelligent you are, is the more likely for you to depending upon social security for your existence. Listen to this teenager. Maybe you might learn something.
18 years old when I made my first $1 million.
I'm going to go back because I want you to hear what he says. How old he was when he made his first million. And how old are we? And how educated are we? But we still fail to understand common sense investment decision. It's very important that these faces are showing up, especially this one, especially Jamie Dimon. I think he's the CEO of JP Morgan. These are the people who were saying that Bitcoin is fake, cryptocurrency, run from it. These are the people now that are holding secret meetings behind closed doors. They tried all their best. Look at them. Listen to what they're saying. Listen to them clearly. You can still hear them today.
They have to do this, and I'm kind of more aware that that's maybe not so much the case. I think about.
So here you have Eric Finman's story again. At the age of 12, at the age of 15, he has already hired 20 of the teachers, of which one of them would have told him to drop out. All because of common sense investment. Common sense investment. Okay, now I'm not that good with French. Good evening, House of TACC. Luke. Good evening, Mr. Abundance and the entire global community of TACCs. July should be the month when every TACC must bring our 10 new registrations each. God's will. That is very important. You know, I said to the house that the only thing that is stopping us, the coin that you have in your wallet to be money, is us. And it's not maybe because it's too easy. Because you have worked for 5 years, for 10 years, but when you look around and you evaluate your worth, you don't see it. You don't see it. And be honest with yourself. What have you produced after 10 years or 20 years? Some of you have retired. And what have you produced? Is it because You know, there is a proverb that says that you are the sum total of what you produce. You are the sum total of your earnings. Even though I have a little problem with it, but it is the reality. So don't tell me that I am $1 billion, but I am only bringing in $10. You see what I'm saying? You are the sum total. And so you may be going towards the billion, but as it is now, you are the sum total of exactly what you produce. And all what is required is for you to bring 10 persons, teach them to do the same. Is that too hard? To put millions in your path. You go to work every day for the past 20 years and you have not had financial freedom, but you work for the boss and gave him sometimes double your time only to receive a slip that you're no longer needed. And COVID-19 showed you how valuable you are to your employers. I said COVID-19 showed you how valuable you are to your employers. Some of you have not received a dime, and some of you will not return either. That is how they think of you. And so you have an opportunity now to create an environment for you to be the employer, and you will still spin around. I can see why Moses struck the rock. You can blame him and say, you know what? These people should have known better. When you look at the children of Israel after 400 years in suffering, after a matter of fact, their burden have increased fourfold at one time, that even Moses became a murderer. When he saw the suffering of his people, the script says he could not bear it. And the weight of the system and the advantage that were taken care of reached to its crescendo. And he became a murderer and had to flee. We saw all that. The people knew all that. They saw all the miracles in Egypt. South Africa. And do you think that we're any different today? Are we any different than the children coming out of Egypt? Wandering after everything. A journey that should have taken them 40 days, took them 40 years, and 80% of them never made it. Never made it. Will that be our story in TACC? That's the question. Will history repeat itself? Now the Red Sea is open for a people to walk on dry land into an economy that this world has not seen, an economy that has not yet entered into the heart of angels. Because that is what it is. That is what cryptocurrency can do. But our action, because even though he promised them a land that flows with milk and honey, you have to do your path. The infinite could have taken them up by a whirlwind and dropped them in Canaan. And that whirlwind could have also destroyed the giants that they saw. But he doesn't work like that. He doesn't work like that. And so don't expect him today to give you the keys for you be a bank. JP Morgan and Chase Bank, Barclays Bank, the Atlantic Bank, Scotia Bank, don't expect him, who created all things of who you are, to come and give you the keys for those institutions and said, go and help yourself. It will not happen because he is not a thief. He is not a thief. You have to get up and do something and make a decision and be sound with it. You have to do something. Good evening, Tiashans and our great leaders in the house. God is taking TACC uphill, and we all are blessed, invested in TACC. Thank you very much, Abuja. All right, and as we come to a close, greetings, Mr. Abundance and all the Tiashans. Sanko, good evening, Mr. Blessing. Hi, no. Hold on a minute. Greetings to Mr. Abundance and the entire house of Tiashan. We can meet up with our goals if we all decided to be meaningful, specific, and stop wandering around. Together we can, together we will. Good evening, Tiashan. We must align ourselves with TACC vision and unity of purpose. Good evening, house. Good evening, our dynamic leader. Yes, good evening. Hi, Mr. Abundance and the Tiashans. Yes, hi. Good evening, Mr. Abundance. The only genuine voice crying in the wilderness for the emancipation of mankind, and most especially people of color. Now, be careful when you said the only voice, because I think a character in the script also had that idea. I think it was Elijah who thought he was the only one. But the infinite says, no, look ahead. I have 7,000 reserved. And so, just a reminder, John. Mr. Abundance, your teachings are our daily development, strengthened on this blue economy. Please say it over and over again. Shisha. Namibia in the house. I am not easily impressed, may I say, to the house of Tiashans and those that have followed Mr. Abundance now for over a year. You would have heard my story that I am not easily impressed, neither by money nor position nor possession. I have had all. I have had money, I have had position, and I've had possession. So I am not easily moved. But I must say, I am impressed by the leadership in Namibia and what they are doing. They're not making noise here in the platform. You may not see them making noise in the forum, because it's not the ones that make noise get anything done. It's those that do it silently. Mr. Abundant, hello Tiashans. Yes, let's go. Hello Tiashans, accept greetings from Cameroon. Cameroon is in the house. Good evening, Mr. Abundance and the house of Tiashan. My convictions and my convenience cannot coexist. I will push myself to the very end. With TACC, we are the next billionaires. And I endorse that. I endorse that fully. Your conviction and your convenience cannot coexist. You have to decide which one. Dealing with the prophecy and quoting from Daniel Revelation, seeming you are a SDA member, sir. Have mercy. King Montana, Rian from happy to join the family this evening. Thank you. Thank you very much. Mr. Abundant, this is the problem we have now. People call cryptocurrency the mark of the beast. I salute. Oh, yes, because they don't even know where the mark of the beast will come from. The mark of the beast will come from politician, the system. It is a system. It is a system. The image is a system. The beast is the government, or it's not even, well, put it this way, it will be a world government. And when I say a world government, you can look at the bodies now that are controlling the world. Look at them carefully. Who have us under quarantine? Which body determines whether we wear a mask or not? When that body speaks, your government must listen. Because if they don't listen, their sister to that umbrella will not finance your government. I want you to understand who and where the mark of the beast will come from. It's not coming from cryptocurrency. It's coming from the established systems that are in the world already. The UN, the UNICEF, the World Bank, the IMF, the WHO. Those are the systems that will bring to bear the mark of the beast with your government, just like what they have done with COVID-19. They tell you if you can fly or if you can't. They tell you when to leave your house and when you cannot. And so cryptocurrency is your escape route, because it's one thing with the infinite. He always make a way of escape. And if you fail to accept that way, take the results that will come with your action. God bless you, Mr. Abundance, for revealing deep secret in the house of TACC. TACC is going uphill. And when I said that the lamb-like beast in Revelation represents the United States, because she speaks like a lamb today, but that country shall speak like a dragon very soon, because it's that country that will give rise to the power of the image. Good evening, Mr. Abundance. I was surprised to see Eric Finman has only 403 Bitcoin and have more than I thank the infinite. Well, you can see the 403 Bitcoin. At least, because he bought them when they were about $10, $12 in 2012. An uneducated, a dunce we will call him, a dropout, but at least he had enough sense. Look at his house, room from room to room. He says, I invite my friends over and they're having a party, living in luxury, and you are showing up to work 40 years and you can't even buy a pair of shoes. You don't even have enough money to put food on your table. And you cannot afford to get sick. You can't afford to get sick. Where is the mark of the beast on him? Do you see the mark of the beast on him? He has freedom. That is what cryptocurrency does. Freedom. And you nonsense are talking about mark of the beast. I don't know why you all don't read the script if you all believe in it. I wish my pastor friends were watching, because they felt I'm contaminating their faith when I approached them about TACC. I asked them a question: what will you do when your brethren approach you? The pastors today, you know, the Bible said, touch not the anointment. Let me, I don't know if they're anointed, but it said, touch not the Lord's anointed, nor do the prophets no harm. I want to ask you the question. Do you think that there were pastors and bishops and priests in the days of Noah? And I'm asking you a question now. Do you think that there were pastors, there were apostles, there were reverends? Do you think that there were any among the world? And have you heard of any one of them who entered the ark? I'm asking you the question now. Back in the New Testament now, there was a character called Jesus. Did you see any one of them stood by him that called themselves priests and reverend and rabbi? I'm asking you the question. When the crowd says, give us Barabbas, give us a jailer and a thief and a murderer, and away with this man, where was the reverend, the apostles, the pastors, the bishop? Were they in the crowd? Do you think that they were there? I'm asking you the question. May I say to you, when it comes to financial, they're the last one to listen to. Your priest and your bishop, they are the last one to listen to. Because once they collect the offerings, that's all. Withhold your offerings for a month, and you see who is the priest and the reverend. Withhold your offerings for 1 month, and you see who is the priest and the reverend. I wish my... Okay, never mind. For Bitcoin, Ethereum, and TACC wallet for tidying up. For Bitcoin, Ethereum, TACC wallet for tidying and offering. Greeting, Mr. Banner. TACC is creating new model, transforming. Oh, have mercy. Good evening. Oh, here comes Prosperous Spring. Good evening, Mr. Bonnet. All the TACC. You're 100% right about Revelation. Have mercy. No. I can't. Listen to me. I will not touch Revelation and Daniel now. But I come clear, but still not clear enough. There is a reason. This child TACC has not yet given birth in his fullness, and so we have to be wise as a serpent. What a masterpiece! Thank you, Mr. Abundance. TACC is the best cryptocurrency and the mother of crypto in Cameroon. Thank you very much. Good evening, Mr. Abundance, the uncomparable leader. God bless you, abundant in all the good folds. Moses K. Grant, all the way from Ghana. Thank you very much, sir. Hello to Mr. Abundance, all the TACC in the house. TACC is here to help Sweet Leslie handle our tomorrow's dream. Thank you very much. That is wisdom. From Cameroon, greetings, Mr. Abundance and the TACC in the house. Greetings, Joy. From Kenya. Kenya's in the house. Give me a reason to come to Kenya. Oh. Good evening, Mr. Abundance, all the TACC. TACC is going uphill. TACC is here to set us free from poverty and to make us changes in Africa and the rest of the world. Whoa. Good news, Mr. Abundance. I am from South Africa. Greetings once again, all the way from South Africa, from South region of Nigeria. Okay. Yes, good evening. Let all TACCians strengthen their beliefs and strive to move positively in a forward and more successful direction in order to take TACC to the promised land. Thank you very much. We're winding down. Good evening, Mr. Abundance from George from Ghana. I'm happy to be in this big family. We welcome you, George. Good evening, NK. Good evening. Greetings, Mr. A week ago. Greetings, Mr. A week ago, I was talking to one of the tier and trying to the person to join, and the person said to me, I hope this wouldn't end up taking the mark of the beast, and I became weak. May I say, be strengthened. Be strengthened. They speak and they know not what they say, nor do they understand the script. Please, Mr. Abundance, can you share the video of the youngest millionaire in Bitcoin? Yes, it's in the forum. It's in the forum already. Matter of fact, I will share it again. Refuse to settle affirmation. When all odds are against me and everything that I have done has failed, I will challenge, I will dare, I will persist, I will endure. Thank you very much, my dear brother. For I know that it is never over until it's over. Amen. And I think with that, we can close today's edition of the Sunday session. Thank you very much, TACCians. TACC is going uphill. It is a period where if we know what we want, if we decided not to spend our time, but to invest our time wisely, we can all walk out on the other side as trillionaires, not billionaires, but it's all based on your investment. Thanks for joining. This is Mr. Abundance.